ever feel like you're stuck on mute, kinda, when it comes to getting what you want? Like, especially maybe in the dating world.
Yeah.
Well, today's deep dive is about to change that.
Okay.
We're diving into a source that's all about cutting to the chase, like really just being direct and confidently just asking for what you want.
Okay.
It's a bit bold, I'll be honest. Maybe even a little controversial, I guess.
Right.
But hey, I mean, that's why we're here.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's the fun of it.
Exactly.
It's interesting how this source actually, it flips the script on politeness.
Yeah.
It argues that always avoiding, like, being direct with request can actually be more impolite, especially in dating.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's like we've been taught to be vague about it, you know? Like, not say what we want.
Right.
But this source is like, hey, that's wasting everyone's time.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And that's where this I want method that we're going to talk about comes in. It's almost like a power phrase, you know?
Yeah.
A way to shift your mindset from being passive to being proactive. The source even suggests it can make you irresistible. But we'll unpack that a little bit later.
Okay. I am intrigued, but also maybe a little terrified.
Sure.
So is this just about, like, blurting out your desires? Like, how does this I want exercise, like, how does it actually work?
Okay, so it starts with a simple but surprisingly powerful exercise.
Okay.
Practice saying I want 5 times a day.
Yeah.
In just like everyday situation.
Oh, wow.
So at work, ordering coffee, whatever it may be.
Right.
The goal is to kind of to desensitize yourself to the phrase and to embody that directness.
So it's like building a muscle, but like for assertiveness.
Exactly.
Okay, exactly.
I get that. Like taking something that might feel awkward and just like making it second nature.
Right.
But then how does this translate to, like, say, asking someone out on a date?
Okay, so that's where the rubber meets the road with step 2, okay?
So instead of saying, are you free next weekend? You would say, I want to take you out to dinner next week. Are you free?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's direct.
Yeah.
I can see how that would, like, feel scary for some people.
Sure, yeah.
But also empowering, Yeah.
There's
a certain confidence that comes with stating your intentions so clearly.
And that confidence is key.
Okay.
That's really what it is. The source argues that women especially are drawn to this kind of directness because it demonstrates leadership qualities. It's about taking initiative and being clear about what you want,
So it's not just about, like, getting the date or whatever it is. It's about embodying a certain energy, like a take charge kind of attitude. Is that what makes it so attractive, according to the source?
Exactly. It's about moving from a place of hoping to be chosen to a place of choosing.
That makes sense. But wouldn't that come across as aggressive or even, like, insensitive? There's a fine line between confidence and arrogance.
Right. Yeah, and that's where the nuance comes in, I think,
Right.
The source isn't advocating for, like, bulldozing over other people's feelings.
Right.
It's about finding that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Between, expressing your desires, but also being respectful of boundaries.
So how do you find that balance, though? How do you say, I want, without sounding like a broken record? Or like a jerk, frankly.
Right. Yeah, it's about being authentic and considerate in your delivery, right?
Okay.
For example, instead of just saying, I want your number.
Right.
You could say, I've really enjoyed talking to you, and I'd love to continue this conversation. Would you be open to giving me your number?
So it's not just about the words themselves, it's the intention behind them too.
Exactly.
It's about being respectful even while being direct.
Exactly. And being prepared for different responses.
Right.
Because guess what?
What?
No is a complete sentence. Right. So this method isn't about, like, getting everything that you want, okay?
Yeah.
It's about advocating for yourself, but also respecting the agency of the other person.
That makes sense. But let's be honest, like, rejection stings,
Sure.
And no matter how confident you are.
Right.
Did the source offer any advice on dealing with those situations where, you put yourself out there and it's not reciprocated?
It's interesting you ask that. The source actually, it doesn't really delve into any specific rejection handling techniques, but it does really emphasize this idea of adopting a mindset of abundance.
Okay.
It encourages you to see yourself as someone with options, someone who's worthy of attracting what you desire, even if it doesn't always work out, with one specific person.
Okay, so even if one person isn't interested, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you.
Exactly.
It's about, like, maintaining that that self-belief, I guess.
Right, yeah, and not letting that rejection derail your confidence. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's where I think this I want philosophy can be particularly empowering, because by confidently expressing your desires, you're essentially taking control of your own narrative.
Okay.
You're not waiting for permission or approval.
Right.
You're actively shaping your own experiences.
That's a really interesting point. I can see how that could be a game changer, not just in dating, but like in all areas of life, really. Have you ever tried this I want method yourself? I have to admit, I'm a little nervous to try it, but also kind of excited.
It's funny you mention that. I used this approach when I was negotiating a raise at my previous job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was terrified.
Yeah.
But I just had this aha moment where I was like, hey, you know what? I deserve this.
Right.
And I'm not afraid to ask for it.
And how did it go? Did you get the raise?
I did.
Yeah.
But more importantly, I realized that the fear of asking was so much worse than the potential for rejection.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that experience really, I don't know, it solidified for me the power of this approach.
That's incredible. It's amazing how a simple shift in mindset in the way we communicate can have such a profound impact.
Yeah.
And while this source we're diving into is geared towards dating, it seems like these principles could be applied to so many other areas of life, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, yeah. It's like that saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Right.
But with a confidence upgrade, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah. And a focus on respect, I think, is really important to reiterate here.
Yeah.
This isn't about becoming a demanding, diva. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's about advocating for yourself while being mindful of others.
So it's like finding your voice and using it.
Yes.
In a way that feels both, authentic and empowering. Exactly. And you know what I find really fascinating about this?
What?
I think this I want method, it challenges us. It challenges us to really kind of examine our own beliefs about what we deserve.
Oh, that is so true.
Yeah. And what's possible.
We can often get stuck in these patterns of self-doubt or thinking we need to wait for permission to go after what we want.
Totally. And this approach really encourages us to break free from those limiting beliefs and to step into a space of greater self-belief and agency.
Yeah, it's like giving yourself permission to own your desires and then pursue them with confidence.
And that can be so liberating, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's like this I want method it's giving us the tools, we can write our own scripts now, instead of just following the ones that have been handed to us.
That's a really powerful message, I think, to leave our listeners with today.
It really is. So to wrap up our deep dive into this unconventional approach to getting what you want, it seems like the key takeaway here is this power of, combining being assertive, but with respect.
And the importance of embracing that mindset of abundance and self-belief.
Yeah, because when you believe in yourself and your worthiness of receiving what you desire, it changes everything.
It really does. And it empowers you to show up in the world with so much more confidence and authenticity.
So tell me, what is one thing that you want to start saying yes to in your own life? What desire will you choose to own today?
That's the question we all need to be asking ourselves.
Right.
Thanks for joining us on this fascinating deep dive into the power of I want. Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
Keep questioning and keep on growing.